Hello. And let's get back in the chair. Hey everyone, welcome to High Playing Games. My name's Simon, and today's Saturday night stream, which I did promise would be PS3 based, probably going to be a bit more PS4 based. Sorry. We'll do a PS3 thing before the new year to celebrate the 10,000th trophy that I'm going to be getting. But I thought it would be a really good time to, I can tell that's working okay now, to have a go at the BIT.TRIP, which is a fantabulous collection of Gaijin Games BIT.TRIP series. It contains BIT.TRIP Beat, BIT.TRIP Core, BIT.TRIP Void, Runner, Fate and Flux. The beauty is that there's always like a rhythmic like tone to all of these games, but they all do the rhythmic tone in a very different and unique way, and they're such simple games, but you get hooked in, and you get hooked in really quite quickly. So what this quick look is designed to do is to have a very, very brief overview of each one of these 6 games, just so that you can see what you've got. Now, if you've already got the BIT.TRIP series either on PC or on the Wii, there's no bonuses for owning this on PS4, apart from if you want to get PS4 trophies, or if you want to share play or whatever, you'll get all of that. But in terms of the actual extras in the games themselves, there's a collection called BIT.TRIP Complete, which has like extra challenges and stuff like that, and that's not on this collection. So I noticed that because there was already BIT.TRIP Complete, and then they've just put the BIT.TRIP, signalling that it's not complete, and it's really not. So beware of that. But it's come out at a relatively good price. It stands up really well on a big TV, which I was a bit worried about when you look at the pixelated style of this. But we'll just move through these in turn and have a go. I'm notoriously terrible at these games, and these games are notoriously hard. So be nice. So this one, BIT.TRIP Beat, let me just unplug myself from the old, there we go, is the one that is the most difficult. So can you see the bat, like Pong? Now you're tilting your controller up and down to move, and essentially you'll be hitting things from the beat back and forth. So if I go to transition and hit X, there you go. Can you see? I can hit the beat back. Is the plan. Commander video. He's got everywhere now these days, hasn't he? Okay, so because this is like the most Wii-esque version of the game that's not on a Wii remote. It reminds me of there's a Wii game called Tracks or Line Tracks that I've got. I've done some videos of it on my channel already, where you twist the controller to go up and down the screen, and this is no different really. You can see I leveled up there essentially. It won't stay that good for long, I promise. This is probably the best I've done so far. But I think the twisting of the remote, whilst it completely changes the game Oh, and the mechanic of it. But what it also does is, for a game that is so hell-bent on precision, make it exceptionally difficult to be precise. And I think that plays ever so slightly to the game's detriment. I think what I'll do is when I die, it won't take long on this game. We'll oh shit. I'll see if there is a way to move it to analog stick. Because if it's not there, that seems a bit strange. And a bit forced. Considering you can do this with up and down keys on a keyboard on the PC version. Or moving up and down the mouse. But having said that, not enough games have used any of the 6-axis type stuff nearly enough. Oh, trophy. A real beating, apparently. Those big ones, you can like hit half and miss the other half. That comet looks beautiful, by the way. Damn it. Can you see bits of it were falling off where I hadn't hit it properly? Ah, I can't see. There it is. I feel you're now being harsh. No. Ah. Oh, come on, Comet. You're making this incredibly difficult. Get out the way. Oh, wrong way. I twisted my controller in the wrong direction. This is never a good thing. I won't be lasting long. Oh shit. Oh. We're slowly losing. Oh, die. Right, if I remember. Yeah. Oh, it's so hard with the twisty controller. I guess my wrist action isn't that good after all. Failed that challenge then. How am I still alive? I've done it terribly. Oh dear. Still going. Somehow. Oh dear. Interesting. Oh, boss! Yay! Oh, go away. Oh, I've not quite got the rhythm of this one yet. There we go. And that's the thing with the whole twisting of the controller. If you've not quite got it right, it takes you a little bit to get into the rhythm of it. And I don't remember having quite as much of an issue with playing just randomly on a mouse. I'm not quite sure which controlling method is better, but yeah. Oh shit. I think that's enough. Okay. I like the way how the boss is like falling apart. Ah, variant speed problems. Just die. Not me, it. Oh yes! Boop, boop. Ah. That was dramatic. And that was easy mode. Alright, so we're going to quit there because that's now unlocked Descent. So that's BIT.TRIP beat. Let's dive on to the next one. BIT.TRIP Core. So again, I think Core came out on the Wii first. Can you see? So the premise of Core, actually, if you've not played Core before, is you're this cross in the centre and you use up, down, left and right. And can you see like a little razor going across? So as you're doing that, you need to shoot as it crosses the laser. So it becomes very much like a rhythm action-y beat type adventure-y game. Gets quite frantic quite quickly, but at least it's not tilty. It's more of a I can't hit everything. So I'm notoriously terrible at this. You also need a TV that doesn't have huge latency. X, X. X, 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 X. X, 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 X. Oh. It's going wrong already. where the difficulty comes with this is, unlike like if you're playing something like Guitar Hero or Rock Band, where you can kind of leave your fingers on the keys and just press the strum at the right time. Here you've got to leave it on and hit and then go. And it's where it's coming from all different 4 angles, you're not necessarily sure, unless you've caught it in your periphery sometimes, where the next thing is coming from. And then when stuff starts to appear like now, where it's at different speeds, it becomes inherently like my brain is all dead everywhere and you like proper fitting out. So I can press circle if I feel that like I'm gonna really muck up a phase. Like that was quite fast. Oh, there you go. I'm fucking up this one. What it means is that I can bomb all of the notes off of the screen, and it gives you a little bit of like a saving grace. As you work your way through. But as ever with the BIT.TRIP formula, it's about making sure that you can get enough right. Oh, come on. So harsh. And like some of this you'd only know through like repeat playings of how to survive things nicely. So, when things go wrong, this is the netherworld. Which is basically, if you screw up then you die. And that's the end of the game for you. Miss. Oh dear. Anyway, so that is core. I think core is actually probably the second hardest one of the 6. Or I find it to be anyway. Ah, hey Tess. Another thing reminds me of what happens when you screw up in the penultimate stage of Frappa. Yes! Good shout, sir. Good shout. Pleasure to have you with us. Let's dive on to BIT.TRIP Void next. Which is actually the one that I've played the least because I didn't necessarily get it until right at the very last minute on PC. So let's go for id. Easy's always the way on this. I'm still debating whether I've got up to the yellow hat on Parappa the Rapper 2. I might do that this evening. Here on 1-1. So the idea of this one is avoid the white ones, get the black ones. Reverse racism. The problem is that getting all of the black ones makes you fatter and bigger and more awkward to maneuver around. And so pressing X to know when to pop is like mega key, because otherwise you get like so big that you're like, well, I can't really survive. The incentive to keep going and to like get bigger and bigger is that the musical cues make the music much more funkier when you're fatter. I'm sure there's like a weird little disco thing going on in there somewhere. Ah, shit. And so this one kind of ends up becoming the most arcadey game-like one of the BIT.TRIP games. And as a result is kind of a bit more like a intro to BIT.TRIPs probably should start here, because it's the most here, or Runner probably, because they're the most translatable and relatable games in the series to people that haven't played BIT.TRIP. Point 1 of 3. Very dark. That wasn't very good. What was that? So here you're... Because it's the first time that I've actually had to... play this game. Yes, repel! Repent! I like this repellent feature. Get lost. Oh, it doesn't work now though. Ah! This shows why I was shit at asteroids as a child. Okay, well we've done 2 of 3. If I do 3 of 3 then I'll move on to the next gameage in the collection. Feels only fair. I do like the level design though on these games, in that there is a really good trade-off between musical interaction and level design. I think that's always been BIT.TRIP's kind of strongest quality in a way. Even if you don't appreciate like the fact that it's mega pixelated in its style of graphics. And this kind of stuff is always, you get the people that are like, oh, I can't stand pixelated graphics. I can't stand the fact that it's not 1 million polygons a minute. No. But I think everyone can appreciate good level design. Or everyone should be able to appreciate good level design. And appreciating when things just work. Reminds me of Sound Dodger. That is a game that was just born for the beauty of musical and visual and gameplay interaction. I love it, it's beautiful. Yes, repel, repel. Oh, Vortex, okay, everything come to me. dear. Hey! Well done me. Well done me. Next up is Runner. So Runner was the game in the series that I started with. Hang on, I'm just going to pour myself some cooler while I'm here. It's also the one that makes me so infuriatingly mad. Hey Josh, how you doing, my friend? You ready for some Jackbox in a bit? Oh yes, I went there. But yes, BIT.TRIP Runner. So beautifully fucking annoying. I have a dilemma today. You're streaming, but the darts is on. Man, my two favourite things colliding. You just have to multitask. This is what multiple screens and browsers are for. Dragon have darts on one side, and Dragon have Smithy playing shitty games on the other side. And don't make me now go onto my PS3 and get out a dart game. Right. So, to demonstrate just how fucking annoying this game is, I think what I'll do... Right, I'll go way back to the beginning, because if you've never played a BIT.TRIP Runner game before, then it's not fair on you to understand or to get how it is. So you are Commander Zero. You press X to jump and collect the beautiful bars of gold. Then collect those because they level you up. And progress the music, of course, as you go. And then you get a big gay rainbow behind you. It's also beautiful and lovely. You're on the telly. Oh, you're on the telly, no problem. Yay. Yeesh. Something that's in BIT.TRIP Runner 1 but not 2 is like this weird little Intellivision retro version when you do a bonus level. Which is like a slightly more evil version of the level you've just done. I was supposed to have jumped beforehand so that I can land just after the little kink. So I nearly got all of everything. I have an issue with the way how the score is displayed on this game. And the way how... I really like the way how this game looks. But it doesn't work on the scoring. I'd hope they'd made it a bit more clearer on the PS4, but they haven't. Ultra! So they're the opening couple of levels. Oh, we're going to get another bonus set, aren't we? And it's exactly the same as what you've just played. It's just they place the gold in different places, which then gives you perverse behaviour because you want them all. So, we've been introduced to the jump. Now I think we get the slide. Yeah. Slide. So, under the kitties, over the hurdles, under the kitty, over the hurdle. So as you can see, it starts to build up what it expects you to do. However, they're just bonus stuff. In fact, when they done BIT.TRIP Runner 2, Josh, they took that this whole bonus stuff out. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to, if it lets me, does it let me? Let's just die actually. There we go. Let's just die. And then quit. So I'll take you up to where I've got up to. So if I do number 11, the big thing for me about BIT.TRIP Runner and the reason why it's so friggin' hard is it's a one mistake and you're dead per level, and you get taken all the way back to the beginning unless there's the occasional checkpoint, which I think is actually extremely rare in this game. Oh, and I missed a gold. And you really want all them gold. See? This is going to be Angry Smithy for the next few minutes. Because you're literally playing with split seconds all the way through. Ah! Right, come on. Boom. Boom. And sometimes it's easy to just go, don't go for the gold. But then that puts you out of like the rhythm. Oh, Nadgers. There is a video on my channel of about 2 years ago when I was doing the PC version of this. And it's about 20 minutes, the video, but 10 minutes is of me, I think, doing this level, just going, for fuck's sake! But it definitely possesses that one more go. Anger. I'm even going for that. So they're done with the up button. Ah, shit, no, no, ah. See? Back to the beginning. Makes you angry. And so, like, this level, which I think is called Odyssey, because it's fucking long as shit, is like the prelude before you get to the end of Song 1 boss. There's only 3 songs in the game. So it's not as if it's like a massive lengthy game. But fuck me, do you not have to like proper go some to actually get anywhere in this game at all? So yeah, props to people that can complete this game. I would dearly love to complete it, I just know I never will. Square to kick. And up to do those little bounces that are these. No! Right. So, yes, as much fun as it would be to watch me cry in pain, let's move on from BIT.TRIP Runner. And go to Fate. So BIT.TRIP Fate is... Has this come to PC? I'm sure it has. I'm sure it has. I'm sure I've got it on PC. But this one works really well as like a weird shootery type thing. There you go. Hey Red, how you doing? You okay? Just everyone die. And so this one is really like the... Oh shit, it's all going wrong. And this one is really like the odd one out, I think, in the BIT.TRIP series, because it's much less around rhythm action, which is what all of the rest are. They're all rhythmy in some way, whereas this is much more around ducking, diving, avoidance, but you're constantly clung to this wave line, essentially, which I've always taken to mean like a sound wave. I'm not sure if my perception of that is right or not. Oh good, I'm glad that's dead. That's getting right on my titty tits. I like the fact that other people's power-ups come from other indie games. I think this was made right at the very beginning of when it, like, being an indie game was a thing. And you had like Paperbound coming along, and like now you've got Super Brawler, where all of the different indie stars, quote unquote, are all there. And I think this is right at the very forefront of that as like a movement, which is great. Yeah, if you know that anything of the BIT.TRIP series, oh shit, this always feels like the odd one out, and that's massively psychedelic. Whoa. Meat boy. Super Meat Boy came out on PS Plus, didn't it? I got it. Ooh, that could be one for later, maybe. I'm shit at that as well. Let's play Simon Plays Games Really Badly night. Let's do that. Of course, stick around for a little bit of Jackbox later on. Crimbo Jackbox will be coming up in about, don't know what the time is, but probably about half an hour, something like that. Ah, shit. Stop killing me! There you go. I know. Have you played any of the BIT.TRIP games, Red? Aloia, if that is how you say that. I like the way how you move really fast. If you're not shooting, Commander Video actually can move around really quickly. I think extra mode looks more fun than the other one. I like this version better. Played one of the new series on PS3. Oh, Runner 2. Runner 2 is amazing. I love that game. I'm slightly less rubbish at that game than I am in some of these. But I got Runner 2 on Vita and on PC, so I don't think I've streamed any of that yet. Anyway, we should be getting towards the end of this as a level soon, hopefully. Giga! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, boss time! Time to die! Oh, ah! Don't be doing things like that, boss. Ah, shit. Is he dead? Is he dead? Yay! I beat something live on the stream. Thank Christ for that. All of the score. So that's that. Well, that's good. Actually saved my progress. Win! And last but not least, we have BIT.TRIP Flux to round off the BIT.TRIP series. Oh, it's a tilty tilt again. Okay. So very similar to BIT.TRIP Beat. In fact, shockingly identical. And immediately harder. But just coming from the other side. I still can't get used to tilting the controller for this. It seems very much like an extension of BIT.TRIP Beat, which is grand if you like that stuff. So if I just die in a minute, because I think where we've already seen BIT.TRIP Beat, this is very much the sequel to it. If I just try and die, then at least you can see like the way how the stage devolves, because I think that's quite interesting. So you can see like my health going down, and then we're in the netherworld. You can see like how everything starts to fall apart a bit. Oh no, let me get health back from a checkpoint. Bugger. Okay. I don't want a bonus. Leave me alone, I want to die. There we go. I just like how hopeless it ends up becoming. And then it's all dead! And it resets you back. So that is the BIT.TRIP on PS4. We've done it in under an hour. Well done us. So you've got the 6 games. You then have leaderboards for each of those, which is kind of like the new additions, so that you can sit and see what you've done against other people, which is all very fine, against difficulties and then globally. Ooh, I'm in the top 100 for something. There's a shock. And it all works rather well. So, yeah, BIT.TRIP. I do genuinely feel like it's one of those games collections that's not for everyone, but kind of goes right the way back to the very heart of gaming, about just the generals around level design and core gameplay mechanics that just work exceptionally well without any frills. That may be suitable to maybe older gamers like myself in their 30s. Feeling a little bit old. I'm only just in my 30s though. Only just. So, anyone that's eligible, please get in touch. Right, I'm going to swap games. So this stream will die for about a minute and a half, and then it will reconvene with a new game in about 90 seconds time. So thank you very much for watching the BIT.TRIP. I'll be back in about 90 seconds with the next one on Simon's Saturday Night Streaming. Bum, 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 bum. La 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 la.